Hello, this is Matthew, and I welcome you to another episode of Unrewarded Intelligence, the channel that offers you free information about expensive matters. This week, we have Bitcoin at $38,571, $1 is 2,593 sats, and Ethereum at $2,860. The US desk saw two-way flow in BTC and ETH with a slight bias towards sellers during the week. Newer clients continue to show up with regular BTC buys ahead of next week's US FOMC meeting, which is expected to catalyze volatility. Clients also inquired over APE and MNGO. The EU desk serviced heavy stablecoin and FX flows this week, coupled with two-way action in BCH, SOL, ADA, Atlas, MOVR, and APE. And trading coverage in Asia reported an uninspiring week with two-way flows dominated by stablecoins and notable chatter around APE, GMT, and GST. Traders expect volatility in APE going into the upcoming Otherside land sale. After 3 weeks of falling on-chain activity, active addresses rose plus 5%, new addresses jumped by plus 0.3%, and transaction count increased by plus 3.1%. Still, daily and monthly active supply fell by minus 5% and minus 4.1%, respectively. The network's market value also dropped for the fourth week straight, falling by minus 3% this week, a loss of $22.7 billion. However, after average transaction fees, a measurement of network demand, fell a notable minus 17.4% last week. They ticked up plus 17.9% this week. Bitcoin's hash rate rose for the second week, increasing by plus 3.8% week over week to 217 exahash per second. However, miner market capitalization fell by minus 3.1% to $172 billion, 22.9% of total market capitalization, outpacing the drop in market capitalization. Now let's start with news of the world. The Bitcoin Mining Council released its first quarter of 2022 report, finding that the global Bitcoin mining industry increased its sustainable energy mix by nearly plus 59% year over year from 36.8% in the first quarter of 2021 to 58.4%. However, the BMC estimates the global mining industry's sustainable electricity mix fell 0.1 percentage points from last quarter. Bitcoin mining's electricity consumption decreased by minus 25% year over year, while the hash rate increased by plus 23% from 164.9 exahash per second to 202.1 exahash per second, equaling a plus 63% increase in mining efficiency in the last year since the first quarter of 2021. The BMC alleges that Bitcoin mining is 5,814% more efficient than 8 years ago. Goldman Sachs issued its first BTC-backed loan, according to Bloomberg. The secured lending facility allows a customer to use BTC as collateral for a cash loan. A Goldman spokeswoman commented, "We recently extended a secured lending facility where we lent fiat collateralized on BTC, BTC being owned by the borrower. The interesting piece for us was the structure and the 24/7 365-day risk management." This news follows Goldman's first trade of an over-the-counter Bitcoin-denominated option last month. The Central African Republic, which has a population of nearly 5 million, is now the second country to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. According to President Faustin Archange Touadéra, a bill drafted by the Minister of Digital Economy and the Minister of Finance and Budget is now passed. The legislation introduces legal and regulatory frameworks for cryptocurrencies. Finance Minister Hervé Ndoba commented, "There's a common narrative that sub-Saharan African countries are often one step behind when it comes to adapting to new technology. This time we can actually say that our country is one step ahead." The New York Assembly passed legislation that blocks new crypto mining facilities that use non-renewable energy sources. The bill imposes a 2-year moratorium that disallows new mining facilities from coming online if they rely on carbon-based energy sources. Though the crypto industry warned the legislation could lead to miners relocating and impacting local employment, proponents of the bill note that existing facilities are unaffected by this legislation. Likewise, new facilities that rely on renewable energy are permitted to do business. Ethereum's Beacon chain has reached 12 million total Ethereum staked in its deposit contract, representing nearly 10% of the total circulating supply of Ethereum. The Beacon chain is the first step in Ethereum's transition to proof of stake and currently requires stakers to deposit 32 Ethereum to participate in staking on-chain. The tentative June 2022 date for the impending merger of the Ethereum main chain with the Beacon chain was recently delayed for an undetermined period of time. Fort Worth, the fifth largest city in Texas, will become the first U.S. city to start mining Bitcoin via a new pilot project. The City Council approved the project as part of a more extensive docket of crypto-friendly initiatives. The city partnered with the Texas Blockchain Council, an advocate for blockchain technology in the state, for the program. Fort Worth will maintain 3 Bitmain S9 mining computers, donated by TVC, in a climate-controlled location in the Information Technology Solutions Department data center located at Fort Worth City Hall. The city aims to experiment with the mining process through this pilot program and will re-evaluate it in 6 months. Nevada-based sustainable Bitcoin miner CleanSpark raised $35 million in equipment financing, backed by 3,336 new S19j Pro Bitcoin miners from Trinity Capital, a provider of venture debt financing. CleanSpark CFO Gary Vecchiarelli said, "As we mentioned in our first quarter earnings call, debt capital is currently the lowest cost of capital available to the company. We intend to continue our efforts of obtaining non-dilutive capital to finance our growth, capital expenditure needs." In the exchange stock market, US-based Bitcoin futures ETFs saw AUM fall for the second week straight. BITS fell the most, -4.6%, followed by BTF, -2.2%, XBTF, -1.9%, and BITO, -0.5%. While the ETFs traded at a discount to NAV between -4.4% and -4.7% last week, the trend slowed as all ETFs traded at a lesser discount to NAV between -3.3% and -3.6%. ETF volumes fell across the board for the second week. XBTF took the biggest hit, -85.5%, followed by BITS, -67%, BITO, -12.1%, and BTF, -2.2%. Asset manager Grayscale made a new appeal to the SEC to upgrade its Grayscale Bitcoin Trust into a spot ETF. Grayscale's legal counsel, Davis Polk & Wardwell, noted that the SEC's recent approval of the Teucrium Bitcoin Futures Fund provides a basis on which it should approve Grayscale's spot-based ETF product. "We believe the Teucrium order confirms the fundamental point made in our November 29, 2021 letter in support of the above-referenced proposal. When it comes to approving ETPs, there is no basis for treating spot Bitcoin products differently from Bitcoin futures products." Meanwhile, in the decentralized finance universe and NFTs, Bored Ape Yacht Club's Instagram account and Discord server were hacked with a fraudulent link being sent out to its followers. The mint link claiming users could mint land on Otherside meta would compromise those who clicked it, and led to a number of Bored Apes and Mutant Apes being transferred to hackers' wallets. Roughly 4 Bored Apes, 6 Mutant Apes, 3 Bake, as well as other NFTs amounting to around $3 million, have been lost. Meta is opening its first real-life store to sell hardware products, such as VR and AR devices, for the metaverse. In an effort to attract more non-crypto savvy users, Ava Labs has announced a new wallet called Core that aims to welcome in the next wave of adoption. The goal of the new wallet is reportedly to be able to support Avalanche-based assets as well as introducing interoperability with Bitcoin. This is all for today. The text version is in the description. Thank you for supporting our channel. Use this information wisely, stay sharp and illuminated. If you enjoy this session, please support our channel by clicking like and subscribe, and we will keep you updated with the news.